Brought to you by Penguin.
Stranger Things Season 1, The Junior Novelisation by Stranger Things. Read by Michael Crouch.
November 6th, 1983. Darkness had come to Hawkins, Indiana. Beyond the quiet neighborhoods, out past the streetlights, where the stars were the only things lighting a path for miles around, stood a mysterious building that had no business being in a small town like this one. Hawkins National Laboratory had no official address, no sign out front. Only people with top security clearance knew about the horrors that occurred within its walls. Inside the lab, lights flickered and alarms sounded. A scientist in a white coat came running down the hallway toward an elevator. He was breathing heavily, sweat dripping from his brow. The scientist frantically hit the call button over and over again, praying to hear the familiar ding of the elevator arriving. As he waited, the man was careful to look behind him to see if he was being followed. It was hard to tell. The strobing emergency lights made the shadows in the hallway jump. The coast seemed clear. Maybe he'd make it out of here alive. Ding! The elevator doors finally opened, and the sweaty scientist rushed inside. He mashed the door close button and tried to calm himself. He'd be out soon. He could slow down and catch his breath, away from the intensity of the blaring sounds and the strange growling noises. They started low at first, but grew louder, meaner, hungrier. This startled the scientist, making him freeze up with fear, afraid to move an inch, too scared to even blink. He wasn't alone in the elevator. Something else was in here with him, something that snarled like an animal. Against his better judgment, the man looked for the sound. It was coming from above him. He twitched, lifting his chin to look up. And just as he caught a glimpse of the creature, it grabbed him before he could run. An unseen monster sucked the man up into the elevator shaft with one swoop. The elevator doors closed, and there was no way for anyone else to hear his screams. 12-year-old Mike Wheeler issued a stern warning to his friends. "Something is coming," he said. "Something hungry for blood." His words hung in the air. Silence followed. He could have been talking about whatever was lurking in the lab miles away, but he knew nothing about that. No one in town did. No, Mike was talking about a different kind of monstrous threat. The kind that lived inside the illustrated pages of a monster manual. It was dark in the basement of the Wheeler house, and that meant one thing: Dungeons and Dragons. It was a role-playing game where players would act out death-defying feats as magical characters, and their fates would be decided by the roll of a 20-sided die. The rest was up to Mike's twisted imagination. As Dungeon Master, he'd created a fantasy campaign that would put his friends to the ultimate test. Would they be up to the challenge? Overseeing the grid map, Mike continued his thrilling tale. A shadow grows on the wall behind you, swallowing you in darkness. It is almost here. "What is it?" asked Will Byers, the wizard of the group. "What if it's the Demogorgon?" Dustin Henderson nervously wondered aloud. His character was a cleric. "We're so screwed if it's the Demogorgon." Lucas Sinclair, the ranger of the group, regained control of his team, trying to calm them down. "It's not the Demogorgon." "An army of troglodytes charge into the chamber," Mike revealed, slamming his hand down dramatically. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Troglodytes were little lizard people who posed no real threat to any respectable D&D player, especially those with high score.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?